Mendoza is the capital city of Mendoza Province, in Argentina. It is located in the northern central part of the province, in a region of foothills and high plains, on the eastern side of the Andes. As of the 2010 census, INDEC, Mendoza had a population of 115,041 with a metropolitan area population of 1,055,679, making Greater Mendoza the fourth largest census metropolitan area in the country. Ruta Nacional 7, the major road running between Buenos Aires and Santiago, runs through Mendoza. The city is a frequent stopover for climbers on their way to Aconcagua and for adventure travelers interested in mountaineering, hiking, horseback riding, rafting, and other sports. In the winter, skiers come to the city for its easy access to the Andes. Two of the main industries of the Mendoza area are olive oil production and Argentine wine. The region around Greater Mendoza is the largest wine-producing area in Latin America. As such, Mendoza is one of 9 cities worldwide in the network of great capitals of wine, and the city is an emerging no-tourism destination and base for exploring the region's hundreds of wineries located along the Argentina wine route. History. On March 2, 1561, Pedro del Castillo founded the city and named it Ciudad de Mendoza del Nuevo Valdelaraya after the governor of Chile, Don Garca Hurtado de Mendoza. Before the 1560s the area was populated by tribes known as the Huarpes and Puelches. The Huarpes devised a system of irrigation that was later developed by the Spanish. This allowed for an increase in population that might not have otherwise occurred. The system is still evident today in the wide trenches, which run along all city streets, watering the approximately 100,000 trees that line every streets in Mendoza. It is estimated that fewer than 80 Spanish settlers lived in the area before 1600, but later prosperity increased due to the use of indigenous and slave labor, and the Jesuit presence in the region. When nearby rivers were tapped as a source of irrigation in 1788, agricultural production increased. The extra revenues generated from this, and the ensuing additional trade with Buenos Aires, no doubt led to the creation of the state of Cuyo in 1813 with José Copyright de San Martín as governor. It was from Mendoza that San Martin, other Argentinian patriots and Chilean patriots organized the army with which they won the independence of Chile and Peru. Mendoza suffered a severe earthquake in 1861 that killed at least 5,000 people. The city was rebuilt, incorporating innovative urban designs that would better tolerate such seismic activity. Mendoza was rebuilt with large squares and wider streets and sidewalks than any other city in Argentina. Avenue Bartolomé Copyright Mitre and additional small squares are examples of that design. Tourism, wine production, and more recently the exploitation of hard commodities such as oil and uranium ensure Mendoza's status as a key regional center. The city's suburbs, the most important of which are Godoy Cruz, Guatemala Copyright N, Las Heras, Luja de Cuyo, and Mayapa, have in recent decades far outpaced the city proper in population. Comprising half the metro area population of 212,000 in 1947, these suburbs grew to nearly 7/8 of the total metro area of 894,000 by 2009, making Mendoza the most dispersed metro area in Argentina. In September 2013 a request was presented to the municipality to rename the city to its original native name Huentota, as opposed to the current name Mendoza, a reference to Garca Hurtado de Mendoza who had been accused of abuses against indigenous people. Culture. Mendoza has several museums, including the Museo Cornelio Moyano, a natural history museum, and the Museo della Rifondazione on Pedro del Castillo Square. The Museo Nacional del Vino, focusing on the history of winemaking in the area, is 17 kilometers southeast of Mendoza in Mayapa. The Casa de Fada, a historic house museum, is an 1890 mansion once home to artist Fernando Fada in nearby Mayor Drummond, 14 kilometers south of Mendoza. The mansion is home to many of the artist's paintings. The Fiesta Nacional de la Vendimia occurs in early March each year. Part of the festivities include a beauty pageant, where 17 beauty queens from each department of Mendoza Province compete. and one winner is selected by a panel of about 50 judges. The Queen of Mendoza City's department does not compete and acts as host for the other queens. In 2008, National Geographic listed Mendoza as one of the top 10 historic destinations in the world. Education. Mendoza has a number of universities, including the major Universidad Nacional de Cuyo, as well as University of Mendoza, a branch of Universidad Congreso, Aconcagua University, and Champagnat University. Mendoza is a popular place to learn Spanish, and there are a number of Spanish-language schools, including Intercultural, Greenfields and SIMA. Urban structure. The city is centered around Plaza Independencia with Avenida Sarmiento running through its center east-west, with the east side pedestrianized. Other major streets, running perpendicular to Sarmiento, include Bartolomé Copyright Mitre, San Martín, and 9 de Julio. Those running parallel include Cola Cubden, and Las Heras. 4 smaller plazas, San Martín, Chile, Italia, and Espar Plus or Minasa, are located 2 blocks off each corner of Independence Plaza. Unique to Mendoza are the exposed stone ditches, essentially small canals, which run alongside many of the roads supplying water to the thousands of trees that provide welcome shade. Those deep ditches also represent a full hazard to unsuspecting visitors, particularly in the dark. The Parque General San Martín was designed by Carlos Tais. Its grounds include the Mendoza Zoological Park and a football stadium, and it is also the home of the Universidad Nacional de Cuyo. A view of the city is available from the top of Cerro de la Gloria. Politics. Elections for mayor and councillors took place on February 22, 2015. Transportation. Mendoza is 1,037 kilometers from Buenos Aires and 380 kilometers from Santiago, Chile. Governor Francisco Gabrielli International Airport serves Mendoza, with flights to from Buenos Aires taking less than 2 hours and less than 1 hour to from Santiago. The public transport system includes buses, the Mendoza trolley bus system, and taxis. The trolley buses are more comfortable than the diesel buses, but are slower, not as numerous nor is the system as extensive. In 2008, TransLink of Vancouver, Canada, sold most of its old trolley bus fleet to Mendoza. A heritage railway, El Tren del Vino, is being planned, which will also provide local transportation. It will run through wine-producing districts of Mendoza. Metrotranver equals. A new 12.6-kilometer light rail line, the Metrotranver Mendoza, opened for regular service in October 2012 and serves 5 areas of the Greater Mendoza conurbation. The line runs from Estancia Cubden Central south to Maipa. Transandine Railway equals. Mendoza's development was helped partly due to its position at the start of the Transandine Railway linking it to Santa Rosa de los Andes in Chile. The only railway operable between Argentina and Chile, after many years of inactivity, is currently under restoration and testing for its revival as a freight line by Belgrano Cargas. The Transandine Railway is a 1,000 mm meter gauge line, with sections of apt rack, whilst the railways it links with are both 1,676 mm broad gauge. A journey from Buenos Aires to Chile involved 2 breaks of gauge, and therefore 2 changes of train, one at Mendoza, and the other at Santa Rosa de los Andes. Wine industry. Argentina Euro unregistered trademark S. Most highly rated Malbec wines originate from Mendoza. Euro unregistered trademark S. High-altitude wine regions of Luján de Cuyo and the Uco Valley. These districts are located in the foothills of the Andes Mountains between 2,800 and 5,000 feet elevation. Vintner Nicolas Caetano Zapata is considered the pioneer of high-altitude growing and was the first, in 1994, to plant a Malbec vineyard at 5,000 feet above sea level in the Mendoza region. His family is also credited with making world-class wines and giving status to the wines of Argentina. In film, 7 Years in Tibet, directed by French director Jean-Jacques Annaud, was shot in and around Mendoza. Several dozens of sets were built, ranging from a 220-yard-long recreation of the Tibetan capital city of Lhasa, to a 9,000-square-foot recreation of the Hall of Good Deeds in the Potala, the ancient palace of the Dalai Lama. Climate: Mendoza's climate is characterized as an arid, with continental characteristics. Most precipitation in Mendoza falls in the summer months. Summers are hot and humid where mean temperatures can exceed 25 degrees Celsius. Average temperatures for January are 32 degrees Celsius during daytime, and 18.4 degrees Celsius at night. Winters are cold and dry with mean temperatures below 8 degrees Celsius. Nighttime temperatures can occasionally fall below freezing during the winter. Because winters are dry with little precipitation, snowfall is uncommon, occurring once per year. July: the average temperatures are 14.7 degrees Celsius and 2.4 degrees Celsius, day and night respectively. Mendoza's annual rainfall is only 223.2 mm, so extensive farming is made possible by irrigation from major rivers. The highest temperature recorded was 44.4 degrees Celsius on January 30, 2003, while the lowest temperature recorded was a 7.8 degrees Celsius on July 10, 1976. Gallery. Sports, C category, Sport in Mendoza, Argentina. The city boasts at least two significant football clubs: Independiente Rivadavia and Gimnasia y Esgrima de Mendoza, although neither currently plays in the Primera División. A club from the nearby city of Godoy Cruz, Antonio Tomba, is currently in the Primera. People, C category, People from Mendoza, Argentina. Twin towns are sister cities. Mendoza is twinned with São Paulo, Brazil; Sertão do Zinu, Brazil; Ramat Gan, Israel; Monterrey, Mexico; Bergamo, Italy; Miami-Dade County, USA; Nashville, USA. See also: 1861 Mendoza earthquake, 1985 Mendoza earthquake, 2006 Mendoza earthquake. References. Sources: V. Letelier, Apuntes sobre el terremoto de Mendoza v. Blasco Ibanez, Argentina y sus grandezas. External links: Audio slideshow, Mendoza City, Argentina, an earthquake hotspot. Travel writer Cristobal Dilks discusses how earthquakes have shaped the city of Mendoza. Royal Geographical Society's Hidden Journeys Project, Universidad Nacional de Cuyo, Spanish, Municipality of Mendoza official website, Spanish, Tourism Office, Municipal Information, Municipal Affairs Federal Institute, Municipal Affairs Secretariat, Ministry of Interior, Argentina. Mendoza Travel Guide from Wiki Voyage.